Quick game. Name a performance car brand. First one that pops into your head. I'd bet money you said AMG. Or M. Maybe Quattro. Something German, something with decades of history and a soundtrack. I'd also bet you did not say Genesis. Because most people still file Genesis under the car your dentist buys when he wants a quieter Lexus. Comfortable, handsome, safe. Not exactly the stuff of bedroom posters. And that lazy little assumption is exactly how you miss the most audacious move in the car world right now. Because while everyone was busy ignoring them, Genesis built an entire performance division from scratch, gave it a name, Magma, and then did the single most insane thing a young brand can possibly do. They didn't ease in. They drove straight to Le Mans and lined up against Ferrari, Porsche, and Toyota in their very first season. So let me show you why the brand nobody's watching just became impossible to ignore. This is the story of how the youngest luxury brand in the game skipped the line, went straight for the hardest race on earth, and started quietly building a legend the fast way. Let's rewind, because the context is the whole story. Genesis is barely 10 years old. It launched in 2015 as Hyundai's luxury brand. The idea being, take Hyundai's engineering, wrap it in genuinely beautiful design, and go after Mercedes and BMW. And honestly, it worked faster than anyone expected. The cars look fantastic, they drive beautifully, they win awards. But they had one image problem. Genesis became known for being smooth, refined, quiet, which is wonderful, right up until you want to be taken seriously by enthusiasts. Nobody was putting a Genesis poster on their wall. There was no fire. So Genesis decided to go build some. In 2024, they revealed Magma. Not a model, a whole performance sub-brand. Think of it as Genesis's answer to AMG, to M, to Quattro. The plan is bold and simple, a high-performance Magma version of every car they make. And they gave it a signature, a deep, molten magma orange that runs from the brake calipers to a boost button on the steering wheel. The first one you'll actually be able to buy is the GV60 Magma, and it lands in the US in the summer of 2026. Now, here's where you stop smirking. This is a fully electric performance SUV, and the numbers are serious. A dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup fed by an 84 kilowatt-hour battery, making 601 horsepower. Press that orange boost button, and for a short burst, it jumps to around 641, 0 to 62 miles an hour in about 3.4 seconds. But the horsepower isn't the interesting part. Every EV has horsepower now. The interesting part is the obsession. Genesis dropped the body 20 millimeters, widened the whole stance, fitted 21-inch forged wheels, a real rear wing, side skirts for downforce. Underneath, there's an electronic limited slip differential and brake-based torque vectoring that nudges the car into corners the way you actually want it to go. Metal pedals, suede everywhere. A steering wheel redesigned so your hands don't get tired on track. That's not a trim package. That's a company that hired the right people and let them cook. They've even shown a G80 Magma, a sports sedan with around 525 horsepower. Though for now, that one's a tiny, Middle East-only special. But the road cars? They're not even the headline. This is. Genesis didn't just want fast cars to sell. They wanted credibility, the real kind, the kind you can only earn in one place. So they built a racing team, Genesis Magma Racing, and a top-tier prototype called the GMR-001. And they entered it in the absolute deep end of motorsport, the hypercar class of the World Endurance Championship. The same class, the same grid as Ferrari, Porsche, Toyota, and Cadillac. Let that sink in. Most brands spend a decade in lower categories, paying their dues, before they dare touch the top class. Genesis walked in the front door and sat down at the big table in their first season, building the car with the legendary French chassis specialists at Orica and styling it to echo the road cars, right down to those signature two-line headlights. So even the race car looks unmistakably like a Genesis. And it's not just for show. The team has already scored its first championship points at the 6 hours of Spa, working toward the season's ultimate test, the 24 hours of Le Mans. And Le Mans gave us the moment I love most in this whole story. Genesis signed a driver named Jamie Chadwick as part of the program. And on the test day for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, she climbed into the GMR-001 and turned laps, becoming the first woman ever to drive a hypercar at Le Mans. The first, in the most prestigious endurance race on the planet. In its top category, the brand that did that wasn't Ferrari and it wasn't Porsche. It was the 10-year-old from Korea that everybody underestimated. That's the kind of history you can't buy with a marketing budget. You have to go and make it. Now, let me be straight with you, because this is the car report, not a press release. Genesis isn't winning Le Mans yet. They're the rookies, lining up against teams with 60, 70 years of racing scars. There will be hard weekends. The road cars are electric, which means if your idea of a performance car is a screaming engine, the GV60 Magma is going to feel like a different religion. And Magma still has to prove the thing every new performance brand has to prove, that it can do this for years, consistently, and not just make a splashy entrance. All of that is fair. All of that is true. But step back and look at what's actually happening here, because it's kind of beautiful. AMG took decades to become AMG. M Division spent 50 years earning its badge. They built their legends slowly, in an era of combustion engines and gradual reputations. Genesis looked at that timeline and basically said, we don't have 50 years, and we don't want them. So they're compressing it. Design-led instead of engine-led, electric instead of gas. And instead of tiptoeing up a motorsport ladder, they went straight to the top of the hardest discipline in the sport and started taking notes in public against the best in the world. That's not the move of a brand playing it safe. That's the move of a brand that knows exactly what it wants to become and has decided the fastest way to get there is to earn it where it's hardest. So no, you might not have a Genesis poster on your wall yet, but give it a few years, because the brand everybody wrote off as the comfortable one just did something Ferrari and Porsche had to spend lifetimes earning the right to do. And they did it before most people even noticed they'd shown up. The fire Genesis went looking for? They found it. And honestly, watching a newcomer swing this big, this confidently, that's the most fun the car world has had in a long time. Cars are never just cars. And if you made it this far, you already know that. Thanks for spending the time with me. Hit subscribe so the next story finds you, and I'll catch you down the road.